Now to Venezuela.
Protests on the streets of Venezuela turning deadly.
All across Venezuela, hungry children, political crisis that has left the country in chaos.
Rotten beef is also sold here in this market.
Maduro, whose election in 2018 was declared illegitimate, who support Maduro and eat or go hungry.
Piles of rubbish are also a source of food here.
The Venezuelan people suffer.
The escalating refugee crisis in Venezuela.
Crumbling healthcare system.
Political turmoil in Venezuela.
Humanitarian crisis.
Venezuela, once the richest country in Latin America, sitting on the largest oil reserves in the entire world, now has the highest inflation rate in the entire world. Food and basic medicine inaccessible for the majority of its citizens. Major allegations of corruption in the government. Venezuela has become one of the most dangerous countries in the world with one of the highest murder rates. Everyday people from all classes have been forced to flee this country. We're talking over 5 million people, a mass exodus. The average salary per month, $3. In this video, we will follow the trail of the Venezuelan refugees, hear their stories, and meet a man who is giving these Venezuelans a second chance.
Corruption, inflation of the dollar. That means you print more, you devalue the currency. They're over there eating rotten meat. Once the richest country in the world, the murder rate is sky high. We gotta remember too though, they take away their Second Amendment right over there too though. So watch more of this video. My bad. Let's talk about something. If they took away their Second Amendment right, why the murder rate is so high?
Jose, who's really kindly invited us into his home. This home here costs $60 roughly a month, including expenses. He wasn't able to bring any money from Venezuela, so he's just like trying to pick up odd jobs around this area, but it's not exactly easy at the moment. There's not a lot of jobs going because of the extremely high demand of this huge influx of Venezuelans. He came firstly by himself to kind of scope everything out, then he's eventually brought his entire family here, and him and his entire family have lived here since February 2020. So let's have a look at the living conditions here. Unfortunately, I had some issues with my microphone, but I'll just explain this next part with a voiceover. So here we are arriving in the kitchen, meeting Jose's family. He was explaining to us that it's a very humble house and they don't have much.
They have chicken. He got a piece of chicken to give to his family today, but he is not sure about lunch for tomorrow. This is the only food they have.
So this is literally the only food they have. Jose was explaining that they literally live meal to meal. And here's Jose's lovely wife opening the fridge for us. You can see it's empty. There's no food in there. Completely empty. This is the bedroom, obviously. He was explaining to us that he wants to grow some crops down here so he can be more self-sufficient, grow some crops for his family. There are subtitles available for this video in English and some other language. I recommend using those for the rest of the video. You can activate the subtitles in the cogwheel settings here on YouTube. They call the bazaar. The Venezuelans come in and choose a few items of clothing each. A lot of these people, we saw them yesterday coming over the border. They've just got plastic bags full of their belongings because they're fleeing from an absolute nightmare. So they can come here and they can kind of start to rebuild their life that way. This is where they teach the adults courses and different skills and things. And then they've got a little play area for the kids while their parents are studying and things. Here's a lot of photos of the different people that they've helped and the different programs they have. They help them prepare resumes on the computer and then they help them distribute the resumes to potential employers. So we've come down a floor. Here we have like the food packs that they distribute here. So we've got things like rice, sugar, beans, sausages, coffee, crackers, oil, like, you know, the essentials to keep you going. There's some Venezuelans that are going to come and pick up some of these packs now. We've met a lovely family here who have come to pick up food packs here. You guys came from Venezuela separately or together?
They all come separately.
Was that through the coyote crossing, the illegal crossing?
She was the only one that entered legally. The rest of the family, about 10 people, came here illegally through the coyote. She had to walk a lot, barefoot. Some people couldn't do the crossing. Older people couldn't do the entire crossing, so they had to take them on the shoulders. And it is scary because they are afraid of the police all the time. They have mud until the knees. It's something they have to go through in order to have something to eat here. They prefer to go through that process, but at least have something to eat here, not be dying from starvation as they were in Venezuela. It's because of the government. The government has hurt the country. Although they have a better life here now, they have family back there and they know they're suffering. But they are thankful to God and to Brazil for taking them in and helping them, because at least they still don't have much. They still sleep on the ground, but at least they have enough to eat.
Anybody watching this video, what would your message be to them about supporting this project? How important is it?
Llegarse aquí, hermanito, y pedirle apoyo. Hermanito.
If you're in need, come to Hermanitos. They will always bring you hope. They will always give you the chances to succeed. She hopes that they keep doing this work and keep helping people. So for the people that have the meanings to help Hermanitos, please help. For every grain of sand that is donated, they can multiply it and help so many people.
A little bit goes a really long way.
Exactly.
Okay. Gracias.
Me gustaría hacerle
She's asking for a wheelchair for her son.
tiene su condición aquí, tiene esta condición, que él está operado aquí, tiene operación y tiene válvula en la cabeza.
He has a brain condition. He has a valve on his brain. Because of it, he cannot walk.
Unrelatable hardships, of course. You can see if getting her daughter to cross the border with what's called a coyote, bribe the border security. Life in Venezuela is not livable. The people we've spoke to, from what I've seen when I visited there, it's not okay there, obviously. That's not news probably to most of you. They have to take these extreme risks, pushing through these unimaginable situations, crossing borders with mud up to over your knees. Those food packs there, $10 roughly, give or take, it depends on the exchange rate, but around $10 US buys one of those food packs, and that should supply a family of 4 with food for 15 days. So one of those food packs, $10 for 15 days supply of food for the essentials, nutritious food, beans, rice, things that fill the stomach and are nutritious as well. Also, if any of you are interested in helping out with that wheelchair there, send me an email and I'll put you in touch with Tulio here. The wheelchair costs about $500 to $1,000 US. So if you want to help out with that, send me an email. I'll leave my information below. Having a disabled son when you don't have money to eat, obviously it's just incomprehensible. We've come to a favela here in Manaus. We are going to go into a Venezuelan household just quickly because we got a flight to catch. But yeah, if you want to check out that information, $10 supplies a family of 4, 15 days of food, 2 weeks. Buenos días. Buen día. Buen día. Buen día. Hola. Buen día. Buen día. How many people sleep in this room?
¿Cuántas personas duermen en este cuarto?
En este cuarto solo está mi familia. Mi esposo,
She lives here with her husband and 3 kids. In the other room lives the other family. Her cousin, husband, and the 3 kids as well. The thing is, that family is illegally here. So they cannot be renting any other place. So they don't have like mattresses and stuff. Their conditions are a little bit
Worth. Muchas gracias.
gracias a ustedes.
So what you'll find a lot around here is that families will come together and they will kind of share housing. So there's a few Venezuelan families around here and they'll like split the rent. So this is 10 people living here from different families and the rent costs $100, so $10 each a month. A lot better from where they came from. They've got food on the shelves and in the fridge. So you can see Tulio is a huge part of that. He brings food here regularly, and now because of COVID, they've got different structures. They deliver it, some of it, and some of people go and pick it up, but they try to do it in a way where they decrease the chance of transmission. Beautiful family here. Really lovely people.
Whenever you want to come back, you're welcome.
Gracias. Ciao, ciao. Keep up the great work. It's beautiful.
The collapse of Venezuela's economy is both horrifying and predictable, and the world needs to understand why. Venezuela has the world's largest proven oil reserves, and it was once Latin America's richest country.
Caracas, the swinging city of Venezuela. Good climate, fine buildings, wide highways with plenty on them. All in all, a pretty nice place to be for many reasons.
Today, most grocery store shelves are empty, and Venezuelans are so hungry that they're killing zoo animals for sustenance. Toilet paper, diapers, and toothpaste are luxury goods. Venezuelan hospitals have disintegrated. Children are dying because they can't get antibiotics, and the infant mortality rate is higher than Syria's. The capital city of Caracas is the murder capital of the world, and just 12% of citizens feel safe walking alone at night, which is the lowest figure reported in the world. The government blames slumping oil prices for the desperate situation, but the real cause is the socialist economy. The government sets the price of staples such as rice, pasta, and flour, resulting in chronic shortages. Former President Hugo Chavez nationalized industries, confiscated property, and kicked out foreign companies. The government is trying to print its way out of the crisis, resulting in a 700% annual inflation rate. After a sham election, President Nicolas Maduro, the hand-picked successor of Chavez, is rounding up his opponents and putting them in jail. Despite this, Maduro and his predecessors still have their defenders, ranging from Sean Penn to Michael Moore to Naomi Klein, who once signed a petition saying, "We would vote for Hugo Chavez," and praised the autocrat in 2007 for creating a zone of relative economic calm and predictability. In 2013, journalist David Sirota praised Hugo Chavez's economic miracle, writing that the socialist leader had a record that a legacy-obsessed American president could only dream of achieving. But the real lesson of Venezuela's tragic collapse is that real socialism always leads to economic breakdown and political repression. Those of us in wealthier, freer countries need to keep Venezuela in mind as we confront calls for more regulation and government control of all aspects of our lives.
What's called Democrat Socialists of America. And people over here think socialism is the way America, we should turn to socialism in America. That's how people think. Especially in these colleges, the college professors, these people. You just don't know how good you have it over here with capitalism. Socialism destroys. And it's mind-boggling how people just can ignore situations like that. It's more in other countries, but I'm not getting to that right now. I'm just showing you that one right there. It's mind-boggling how people just ignore stuff like that and ignore the past. This happened not too long ago. About 2000 something, what? They got fleed to another country. Then the other countries, when the country they stay in, they left their family, and their family is miserable, but they couldn't go because they were disabled or something like that, or they had the means to get over there. We talk about the inflation, the printing of money, devaluing the currency. That stuff is real, for real. Just start paying attention more. They're not on your side. They're not. Democrats, socialism, Democrats, whatever. Or rhinos. Whoever pushing for this is not on your side.